Very good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing good. So, as you have seen the thumbnail already, there's this news. Yesterday only, the Niti Aayog was recomposed by the central government. So, we are going to cover this news in brief. I'll tell you whatever is important for your examination, and you have to remember the names, right? So, the news, as you can see, is that there has been a recomposition of Niti Aayog. Why this recomposition has been done? So, the tenure of the Niti Aayog is coterminous except the post of the CEO, Chief Executive Officer, whosoever is the CEO of Niti Aayog. That post, that tenure is not coterminous with that of the tenure of the Government of India, but every other post. So, it has to be reconstituted with a new government being formed, right? So, that's why after this new government has been formed, this has been the recomposition of Niti Aayog. So, I hope you have understood the reason of this recomposition, right? Now, moving with the news. So, what is the news? News is this, that the central government on July 16, which was yesterday, has reconstituted the Niti Aayog with 4 full-time members and 15 union ministers as either ex officio members or special invitees. So, we will see what is the compositional structure of Niti Aayog, what is Niti Aayog, everything regarding that, right? So, let's see further. Before moving ahead with the news, so new members have been added, special invitees, the ex officio members. So, your Union Minister of Agriculture, Shri Shivraj Singh Chauhan, has also been added in the ex officio members list, as well as special invitees, they have been added. So, we will look into the list. Before moving ahead, let's first briefly discuss what is Niti Aayog, what is the aim of Niti Aayog, because then since it is in news, so it becomes important for you, right? So, about Niti Aayog, if we discuss, so as you know, Niti Aayog, the extension stands as National Institution for Transforming India, has replaced the erstwhile Planning Commission, and it came into effect on 1st January 2015, right? On 1st January 2015. So, it was formed via a resolution of the Union Cabinet. Now, you have to remember this thing, that Niti Aayog is neither constitutional. If I ask you, is it a constitutional body or what? So, it is neither constitutional nor statutory. It has been created via a resolution of the Union Cabinet, right? So, it is not constitutional, neither constitutional nor statutory body. Remember this thing. It has been created via Union Cabinet resolution, right? So, it came into existence on 1st January 2015, right? Now, Niti Aayog is the premier policy think tank, as you know. So, we call it as a think tank, Niti Aayog is known as the think tank. Why think tank? So, it basically gives direction, it gives policy input to Government of India across all fields. So, it is the think tank basically, right? Here the ideas, they originate, the ideas related to policy, implementation of policies. So, every real-time solution which is required as per the contemporary issues is there discussed in the Niti Aayog, right? Relating to economic development, innovation, research across all fields. So, that's why it is known as your think tank of the Government of India, where all the ideas they take into place, they germinate, and then providing both directional and policy inputs. So, it basically provides inputs to the government. It is just advisory in nature, the advices are not binding upon the central government. So, it provides directional as well as policy inputs. When we say directional inputs mean that they provide guidance, direction, suggestions to any policy implementation or to any issue which is going on, right? Also, they provide policy inputs, any policy inputs which are required to be implemented across any field is also provided by the Niti Aayog, right? While designing strategic and long-term policies and programs for the Government of India, Niti Aayog also provides relevant technical advice to the center as well as the states. Yes, so it is not only advisory body to central government, it also advises to the states. Now, remember one thing. So, I hope you have understood so far the picture. Now, the Government of India, in keeping with its reform agenda, constituted the Niti Aayog to replace the erstwhile Planning Commission. One thing which you should note down is that Niti Aayog is considered as an epitome, as an example of cooperative federalism. Cooperative federalism. Cooperative federalism. What is cooperative federalism? So this idea that center, all those who are in power at the center, as well as all your authorities, all your governments basically at the state level, they should come on a same table for discussion basically. So there should be an active participation of all the state representatives as well as the center via the entire course, in the entire course of policy making or any decision or policy implementation. This is the central idea of cooperative federalism, that any decision, any policy to be implemented in India should not be authoritative or centralized. So there has to be decentralization. Every state representative should raise their voice, should provide for what people in their regions they are demanding what, right? So I hope you have understood what is cooperative federalism. Yes or no? Right. So Niti Aayog has been an epitome of cooperative federalism. Now, when we say that Niti Aayog came into existence on 1st January 2015, so it has replaced the erstwhile Planning Commission. What was this Planning Commission? Planning Commission, was constituted to formulate 5-year plans for India's economic development after independence. So it was formulated in your 1950, and then first 5-year plan, it came into existence in 1951 for 5 years. Right? And then there are total 12 5-year plans which have been there with breaks in between, with rollout plans and all those things. Now, the latest 5-year plan which was there, the 12th 5-year plan, it was supposed to be implemented for the period of 2012 to 2017. But since in 2014 only, in the first Independence Day speech, the Prime Minister has announced that they are going to dissolve the Planning Commission as a body. So it got dissolved in around August 2014, right? So that's why the last 5-year plan, it got partially implemented only in the initial years. Clear? The Planning Commission was also chaired by the Prime Minister, and it fostered the economic, social development of India, right? But now it has been replaced by your Niti Aayog. I hope you have understood so far the picture, right? So moving ahead, further discussing a broad idea about Niti Aayog. So this is very important organization, Niti Aayog is also developing itself as a state-of-the-art resource center. State-of-the-art means the top quality, best quality, right? Resource center with the necessary knowledge and skills that will enable it to act with speed, promote research, innovation, and then provide strategic policy vision for government and deal with the contingent issues. Any issue which arises, it has to deal with it. Provide policy inputs, foster innovation and entrepreneurship across India. You have seen there have been various initiatives launched by Niti Aayog in this regard. Now, this is very important for you. You should remember this thing for your examinations as well. It can be asked. Niti Aayog in itself is a very substantial body, right? We all know the importance of Niti Aayog, but then it is not working in isolation. It is being supported by some attached offices, right? So name of these offices are very, very important. It is being supported. So it is being supported by an attached office which is called as DMEO, Development Monitoring and Evaluation Organization. First is so this is supporting Niti Aayog in its entire functioning and implementation of all these objectives of the Niti Aayog. So first is your Development Monitoring and Evaluation Organization. What does it do? As the name suggests, Development Monitoring and Evaluation Organization, basically it monitors as well as evaluates the implementation of all the initiatives, programs, policies of Government of India, right? So it oversees and monitors as well as oversees the implementation of these schemes. Development, Monitoring and Evaluation Organization. Then also it is being supported by Atal Innovation Mission, which is an autonomous body under Niti Aayog. You all know that, right? So Atal Innovation Mission very, very important mission launched by Niti Aayog only in 2016. What does Atal Innovation Mission says? Atal Innovation Mission's objective is basically to promote innovation and entrepreneurship across India, right? Promote innovation and entrepreneurship across India. That's why under Atal Innovation Mission, you see they have established Atal Tinkering Labs, Atal Tinkering Labs across schools in India, right? Atal Tinkering Labs across schools in India. So there they want the students to have practical knowledge of what is going on, right? Apart from the theoretical syllabus. So it is promoting innovation among students. Then you have Atal Incubation Centers as well. Then you have Atal Incubation Centers as well, right? What are these incubation centers? They are providing world-class facilities, the technical support, right? Support related to infrastructure, innovation, all these things are being provided by these Atal Incubation Centers. Any technical support, any support related to innovation, all these things. So, yes, these all have been implemented under Atal Innovation Mission. And then another body which is assisting Niti Aayog very actively is your National Institute of Labor Economics, Research and Development. Now, this is a research related or research oriented organization. It actively involves in R&D, research and development related to, labor related variables. So, labor performance, what should be the labor wages, their welfare, right? Employment, unemployment related data, all these things. So, they have been actively involved in such kind of related research. So this was about Niti Aayog. Moving ahead. Now, this is the notification released by the Government of India for the recomposition of Niti Aayog, right? Let's see the members, whosoever are there. It is clearly visible to you, right? I hope so. Yes or no? So this is the new composition. So there is a chairman to Niti Aayog, as you all know. So the reconstituted Niti Aayog has this list, right? Let's see. I'll tell you what names you have to remember. So chairperson is same as always, your Prime Minister. So Prime Minister is ex officio chairperson by virtue of that post. So ex officio chairperson of Niti Aayog. Then your vice chairperson continues to be Shri Suman K. Berry. Okay, a very renowned economist. Okay, Shri Suman K. Berry. Then in full-time members, they continue to be the same. So there are 4 full-time members in your Niti Aayog, right? Now, first is, you should remember these names. Full-time members should be remembered. They should be on your fingertips. This is important for your examination, right? So who all are the present full-time members after the recomposition of Niti Aayog? First name here is Shri V.K. Saraswat. V.K. Saraswat. Okay. Next is Professor Ramesh Chand. So he is agricultural economist. Then your Dr. V.K. Paul, famous pediatrician, and then your Shri Arvind Veermani. Shri Arvind Veermani is a famous macroeconomist, right? And Shri V.K. Saraswat is a famous scientist. So all these members are presently your full-time members even after the reconstitution of Niti Aayog. This should be remembered by you. Have you got this point? Right? Now, talking about the change, so in the ex officio members, apart from the Prime Minister, who all are the ex officio members. So what is this word ex officio means? That you are the member or chair of some meeting or organization by virtue of that post, right? So these are your ex officio members. Now, first, Minister of Defense, Shri Rajnath Singh, earlier was as well, he was the ex officio member. Then Shri Amit Shah, Union Minister of Home Affairs, Minister of Cooperation, right? Then this ex officio person has been recently added in this constituted Niti Aayog. So you have to remember this, that Shri Shivraj Singh Chauhan Shri Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare and Minister of Rural Development, has been added as the new ex officio member of this Niti Aayog. Right? So this, after this reconstitution, Honorable Shivraj Singh Chauhan has been the new ex officio member. And then earlier as well, you had the finance minister as again one of the ex officio members. So Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, Minister of Finance and Minister of Corporate Affairs, is continuing as the ex officio member of the Niti Aayog. Right? So you should remember these names, all the full-time members as well as all the ex officio members. Is that clear? Everyone? Now there are certain, special invitees. Those who are specially invited across fields by the government time to time. So new members have been added. Now the names of these people is not very relevant for your examination, but you can go through the names. These names have been provided to you in this PDF. Clear? So there are certain special invitees. The government invites them time to time for suggestions. Okay? But what you have to remember is this section. Also there is one member known as CEO, Chief Executive Officer. So this CEO, basically CEO, Chief Executive Officer. Now this post, as I told you, that Niti Aayog's tenure is coterminous with that of the tenure of the Government of India, but yes, with that of the tenure of the Government of India, but this is not coterminous with the tenure. So CEO is appointed by your Prime Minister only for a fixed tenure. So presently, who is the CEO? Presently, who is the CPO? Yes, Shri BVR Subramaniam, right? So presently, your CEO is Shri BVR Subramaniam. So remember this name as well, right? Remember this name as well. Now moving ahead, so these all are your special invitees. You can go through this circular later on. Now I have selected these images, to give you a brief idea of what all objectives or what all pillars are there on which the Niti Aayog works. Right? So broadly, there are 7 pillars. 7 pillars. Since this is in new, so Niti Aayog becomes very important for you. So 7 pillars of effective governance are there, which are adopted by Niti Aayog, on which it functions. Right? So first pillar says that it is pro-people, that the governance should be pro-people, people-centric, right? Fulfills aspirations of the society as well as individuals, that you are fulfilling all the aspirations of the society as well as the individuals. Then you have proactivity, that the governance should be proactive. That means in anticipation of any response to citizen needs. Your policies should be in response to what citizen need arises at any point of time. Right? Your policies, your decisions should be very proactive to any citizen need time to time. Then participation, that the policy implementation and the entire course of economic and social development should not exclude citizens from the trajectory. You have to actively involve the citizens in this entire process of economic growth as well as development, right? So participation. Then the next figure is empowering. So women empowerment, of course, cannot be left untouched by Niti Aayog as well. So women empowerment in all aspects is also one of the pillars on which the Niti Aayog functions. Then you have inclusion of all, inclusivity. No one should be sidelined. There should be mainstream implementation or decision making, right? The SC, ST, OBC, minorities, every, person related to poverty or villages, kisan, farmers, all these stratas of the society should be equally representative. They should be included in the mainstream policy implementation. right? Then you have equality, of course, that the equal opportunity should be there for the youth, because India is going through a demographic dividend phase, as I have discussed with you. What is demographic dividend? So presently we have the maximum number of people in the working age group, say 15 to 59 years approximately, right? So we have to capitalize upon this opportunity, because youth is the most powerful or most precious asset of a nation, right, of our economy. So in that case, you have to provide equal opportunities to the youth. And then last but not least is the transparency. Last but not least is transparency, that making government visible and responsive. All your policy implementations, decisions should be transparent enough. There should be no opacity in them, right? This is the thing. Now, moving ahead. So I have discussed with you all the names which have been there. So remember, the new ex officio member, Shri Shivraj Singh Chauhan, have been added, and then some special invitees, they have been added across fields, right? So just giving you an overview of this composition or the organizational structure of Niti Aayog. You should remember this diagram. It gives you in entirety whatever constitutes the Niti Aayog, right? We have seen the names. Now let's see what all constitution or structure is there. So chairperson, as you know, is always the Prime Minister, ex officio chairperson. Then there is deputy chairperson, right? Who is the deputy chairperson? Presently, we have discussed the name. Please tell me quickly, okay? Then you have this governing council. Then you have a very important body which oversees all these functions, is Governing Council of Niti Aayog. In Governing Council of Niti Aayog, you have all the chief ministers of all states. And then what about the union territories? So whatever union territories they have, their lieutenant governors are the members, right? Okay, so then you have the Governing Council. Now this is what is representing the idea of cooperative federalism, yes or no, in Niti Aayog? Isn't it? So it is the Governing Council which is representing the idea of cooperative federalism, because here you have representation from entire India. All your chief ministers of all states as well as lieutenant governors of all UTs are represented here. So they want every voice to be heard, isn't it? So remember this thing, Governing Council. And then you have regional councils. Now these regional councils, they are not permanent in nature. They are formulated or constituted as and when the need arises for any issue specific to a region, right? So then they are formed on a need basis, comprising CMs as well as lieutenant governor of the region. So whatever region is concerned, whatever the issue is related to a particular region, that state's chief minister, if it is a state, or if it is a UT, then the lieutenant governor will be the member of this regional council, among others. So it will be constituted on need basis whenever the need arises. Remember this thing, right? Then you have members, the full-time members. Recently we have discussed the 4 full-time members. Who are they? So one very famous scientist, right? One of the famous macroeconomists of India, one pediatrician, and then one is your agricultural related personality, right? So I have given you all the 4 names. You have to tell me the names quickly if you remember. Now there are then part-time members as well, you know. So part-time members, of course, as the name suggests, so they are for part-time, they are not for full-time. So maximum 2 can be there. They are appointed you know, on rotational basis from relevant institutions. So whatever relevant institution the government feels needs to be represented in Niti Aayog, they are appointed from them. Then you have ex officio members. So you have maximum 4. We have seen the Home Minister, the Defense Minister, the Finance Minister, the Agriculture Minister, right? So maximum 4 from Council of Ministers, which are nominated by your Prime Minister. Then special invitees, that entire list at the end of the circular which I have shared with you. So these are experts from their fields, right? These are the experts, specialists, some practitioners of their specific fields, professionals of their domain knowledge across fields, because then they are able to give inputs to the government, right, regarding any policy implementation. Then you have the Chief Executive Officer, as I have discussed with you. Who is the Chief Executive Officer? Yes, Shri BVR Subramaniam, right? So CEO is appointed by PM for a fixed tenure. Now that person has to be a secretary rank person. Remember this thing. CEO has to be a secretary rank person in Niti Aayog. And then secretariat, if it is deemed necessary, you can have a secretariat. Presently, the secretariat of the governing council is coordinating all the functions of the Niti Aayog. I hope this composition of Niti Aayog is very much clear to you all. Yes or no? Right? Okay. So planning commission, planning commission broadly work with a 5-year plan. Niti Aayog works with a short-term target. Okay, this is one of the fundamental differences. So we don't roll out such longer plans now. So we have short-term targets, medium-term targets to be met as and when the need arises. Apart from that, Niti Aayog has a wider representation from all stakeholders. All these things are there, among other differences. Right? So this was your discussion. This was our discussion regarding the reconstitution of Niti Aayog. I hope this was useful for you all. So we have discussed what is the change, what is the news. We have discussed the structure, whatever existed earlier as well. We have discussed the importance of Niti Aayog, just a brief description about planning commission, because that in detail is not relevant for your examination, right? So I hope this was useful for you, and you can go through this circular. This PDF will be uploaded for you. Any doubts so far? PDF will be uploaded in your Telegram group, right? All right, no doubts? All right then, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next session. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day. Thank you.